your brain on distraction. Your brain is under constant assault from distractions. Deadlines, notifications, and that never-ending to-do list are tugging you in every direction. But imagine an age-old technique that could hush the mental chatter, hone your focus to a razor's edge, and finally help you crush your goals. In this video, I'll guide you through the Lotus Method, steeped in Eastern philosophy, to shift your scattered thoughts into a calm, crystal clear, and focused mindset. Skip this, and you may stay trapped in distraction. Watch on and begin transforming your life right now. Part 1. Gohan's struggle with resistance. Gohan is brimming with potential, just like you. His ambitions are lofty and his goals well-defined, to get in shape, excel at work, and enhance his personal life. Yet each time he tries to make a move, something drags him back. It's not for lack of motivation. He binges motivational videos, devours self-help podcasts, and flips through personal growth books. But when action calls, his mind rebels. Instead of working, he finds himself idly scrolling on his phone. Whenever he plans to tackle something important, his brain steers him toward ease and comfort. He's caught in the loop of procrastination and self-doubt. The worst part? He's fully aware of it, yet feels powerless to stop. But this isn't just Gohan's battle. It's a universal one. Our minds, by design, dodge discomfort. Every time we face a task that seems tough or unknown, the mind instinctively seeks comfort through social media, games, or even idle daydreaming. Gohan feels locked in a fight with himself, and no matter how much inspiration he devours, it never sticks. He's realizing he needs something more substantial, something deeper than a fleeting motivational high. Eastern philosophy likens the mind to a wild monkey, hopping from one distraction or thought to another, avoiding anything unpleasant. The Buddha famously said, "Your worst enemy cannot harm you as much as your own unguarded thoughts." That's Gohan. His own mind is undermining him, luring him away from his true desires and toward momentary ease. Ancient monks understood this inner warfare and devised practices to train the mind, cultivating focus, clarity, and calm. What Gohan faces is simply human nature. Our minds resist challenge and gravitate towards safety. Yet the Eastern teachings behind the Lotus Method reveal that battling resistance with brute force isn't the answer. The first step is awareness. Resistance arises because the mind tries to shield us from discomfort. But that dynamic can change. Awareness is the pivot. Once Gohan recognizes his brain's wiring to avoid hardship, he stops blaming himself. That's the inaugural lesson of the Lotus Method. Before you can reshape your mind, you must first understand how it works. For Gohan, the battleground becomes clear. His resistance is built in. But now he grasps that the goal isn't to fight his mind or coerce it into compliance. It's to become conscious of its patterns. When he notices his mind pulling back, he stops trying to bulldoze through it and instead acknowledges its protective role. Rather than succumb to those impulses, he simply observes them without judgment. This foundational principle of the Lotus Method teaches you can't transform thoughts until you first become aware of them. Part 2. Embracing the flow of life. Having seen his mind's machinery, Gohan asks, "How do I progress?" The next stage of the Lotus Method shows him how to loosen resistance's grip and move with his thoughts instead of against them. Gohan realizes that his go hard or go home approach, forcing himself to push through resistance, has run its course. He seeks deeper insight and encounters Lao Tzu, the ancient Taoist sage. Lao introduces Wu Wei, the art of non-resistance, flowing with life rather than fighting it. One of Lao's famous maxims strikes Gohan, "By letting go, it all gets done." At first, Gohan is puzzled. How could letting go lead to achievement? But as he reflects, it dawns on him. Perhaps his struggle arises from fighting life, fighting his own nature. He wonders, what if tackling hard tasks isn't about brute force? What if there's a way to engage challenges without perpetual resistance? The Lotus Method, drawing on Eastern wisdom, proposes that the remedy isn't harder struggle, but stopping the struggle altogether, finding the natural current within effort. Wu Wei offers a counterintuitive lesson for our frantic world. When you move in harmony with life's flow, instead of opposing it, you accomplish more. It's not passivity, it's alignment. Push too hard, and life pushes back. Flow with it, and progress glides forward. Gohan begins to see that his dogged attempts to force productivity only inflame resistance. By embracing Taoist insight, he learns to face difficult tasks without internal friction. Rather than deem challenges adversaries, he starts treating them as part of the current. When a tough workout, a daunting project, or a personal hurdle arises, he pauses. He reminds himself, don't resist. He accepts the difficulty as part of life's dance, and in doing so, releases the inner struggle. This shift lightens his load. What once felt like a battle now feels like a calm process. This marks the second step in the Lotus Method, relinquishing resistance and discovering harmony within effort. Part 3. The power of stillness and reflection. Embracing flow, Gohan continues his quest to quiet a restless mind. That's when he uncovers Zen Buddhism and Zazen, or seated meditation. At first glance, it seems straightforward. Just sit quietly. Yet as Gohan attempts it, he realizes how challenging it is to sit still while his thoughts surge. He's long believed action was the cure. He studies Zen master Dogen's insight. If you cannot find the truth right where you are, where else do you expect to find it? Gohan begins to understand that true clarity and strength emerge not from endless motion, but from stillness. Through Zazen, his mind starts to settle, like a storm-tossed lake calming once the wind dies down. With each session, his thoughts become sharper and more focused. In moments of quiet, Gohan sees his obstacles not as insurmountable walls, but as stepping stones for growth. He recognizes that his relentless doing fueled his mind's resistance. In stillness, he discovers a precision in his thinking, a clarity he never knew. Instead of barreling into tasks, he pauses, practices Zazen, and lets insight arise. In the silence, he taps into his inner strength. This is the third pillar of the Lotus Method, cultivating stillness. Gohan embraces the notion that, like a lotus's roots buried in mud, stillness lays the foundation for growth. Just as the bud pushes through murky water to bloom in purity, he realizes his stressors, the mud, can nurture his personal evolution. Daily stillness not only soothes his mind, but also builds steadfast focus. Now, instead of charging into tasks chaotically, he approaches them with calm, deliberate energy. Part 4. Turning reflection into action. As Gohan deepens his stillness practice, his once scattered mind transforms into a precise instrument for decision-making. He recalls the Shaolin monks, who married hours of meditation with rigorous physical training. They held that mental clarity and purposeful action are inseparable. Meditation has sharpened Gohan's mind, but now it's time to translate that insight into deliberate action. Much like a Shaolin monk applying inner calm to martial arts forms, Gohan begins treating his daily tasks as a monk would approach a kata, with exactitude, purpose, and patience. Every single task, regardless of its size, warrants his full presence. He learns he doesn't have to tackle everything simultaneously. Instead, he channels his newfound clarity into one focused action at a time. The monks teach that true mastery lies in the harmony of mind and body. With a still mind, the body acts intentionally. With a racing mind, actions become erratic. In the same way, Gohan discovers that stillness must be carried into action. Meditation without movement breeds stagnation. Action without reflection leads to burnout. Balance is the secret. Thus arrives the fourth step of the Lotus Method, action with intention. Gohan realizes his real power doesn't come from juggling 100 tasks, but from applying full attention to one task at a time. He tackles his work, relationships, and personal projects with singular focus, investing each moment in the present. Consequently, those once daunting tasks now feel manageable, and he moves through them with calm determination. Part 5. The Art of Patience. Gohan's progress is steady. He's learned to still his mind through reflection, and to convert clarity into intentional action. Yet as days pass, impatience arises. Despite his dedication, the results haven't arrived as quickly as he expected. Frustration bubbles up, and he questions whether he's missing something. Then he recalls the Eastern monks' lessons about the lotus flower. The lotus pushes up slowly through thick mud before blooming. Its beauty lies in patience. It doesn't rush, but blossoms in due time. Gohan understands that, like the lotus, he must practice patience. Progress can be gradual, and hurrying only breeds resistance. By relinquishing his impatience, he finds peace with the journey. Just like the lotus bud, he knows his bloom will come, but in its own perfect moment. The art of patience becomes his final lesson in mastering the mind, filling him with a calm he's never known before. Where are you on this path? Are you resisting, or are you ready to embrace the Lotus Method? Begin with one step. Whether it's cultivating stillness, focusing with intention, or practicing patience with yourself, growth will unfold in its own time. If this video enlightened you, don't forget to hit subscribe, and let's keep advancing together.